Colossus as it moves in to attack these Marines here. Yeah, the Colossus will pretty much just rip up the Marines for sure. Not too terrible much damage to the Marauders, as they do have the heavy armor and they just kind of laugh off the Colossus. However, they are pretty good actually for hitting the siege tanks if they can get far enough away. So if you have, you know, the Colossus down here, and you've got some damage-soaking units right here that are taking the hits, these Colossus can pretty much just have free range at the tanks. So very good, works out for them very well. Vikings, however, very good at taking out the Colossus, and that'll just pretty much, the Colossus will just need to be microed away from the Vikings and be under the cover of the Stalkers at all times. As this army continues to grow here from its little party, which, I mean, this guy's kind of running out of space. He's, you know, a crowded party is not a very fun party here. I will just state that right now. I know this from experience, so I hope that is all that he will be building in this middle, as it is just getting way too crowded here. I don't even see the probe anymore. He probably left. Probably got too smelly in here. Nope, probe's back there. He can stand the smell. So, party does still have 4 warp gates here. His expansion, not quite even really that close to saturated yet, but he's still probably just kind of figures he's got map control, so he can just kind of take his time here, as he is going to go observe with this observer, which is no longer actually capable of observing anything other than, you know, the rocks as on his way down towards the planet. And excuse me, a little bit of runny nose there. And oh, it looks like we do finally have some tech lab action in the Terran's base. Alright, with one still just kind of pumping up Marines here. I guess 1 Marine pumping at a time is better than 2 Marines pumping at a time for this Terran player, as he is finally switching over to Marauders. Very good choice. Very late, very good. So we will have to see if he is able to get out enough Marauders to effectively kind of change the direction of this game, as right now Thorminator is pretty much just kind of sitting in his base, turtling up, as some Terrans do. However, unfortunately for him, he is not really getting any sort of map control. And what's this one guy doing way down here? He's just still kind of hanging out, checking out the junk pile. I guess he still is into the junk. So, big old Terran, or big old Protoss blob moving up here, destroying the Marines. Oh, that just wasn't even fair. Taking half of his army completely off guard, as the other half was up here eating lunch, talking about the Monday night sports game. Colossus just ripping through everything. Immortals just taking out the armored units. However, Colossus did get way too close to the tanks. Had to retreat, as those missile turrets were also beating on them the entire time. So that attack punched a good, solid number 2 hole right here in the Terran base. Definite good move on the party's part. And he'll need to finish up and, you know, kind of push again to really take advantage of that, or else, you know, the Terran does have this expansion right here, which is not quite full on minerals, but pretty gosh darn close. So he is able to field another army of, you know, single Marines and Marauders very quickly here. However, it will not be quick enough to counter this attack, as the Stalkers do blink in to their death from the Marauders. Colossus taking in the pot shots from the ramp. However, they are being driven off, and this one was kind of sacrificed here, as this Marauder is going to try to stick it to the man. Does this one? Oh wow, both of these are ridiculously low. This one's at 4 shield, 22 health. This one's at 57 health with, you know, a couple dinky shields there. And more Colossus taken to the field. Colossi. Sorry, Colossi. Don't hate me. Don't hate me, bro. Vikings taking a pot shot. Very good move. Taking off one of the low health Colossus units. And retreating very quickly to the cover of his 4 Marauders and a siege tank. Stalkers getting in, taking out the siege tank. Will they get it in time? Yes, and they are trying to run, but they do not. Stalkers trying to get their fill of the action too. However, they are not able to do so, as those Marauders are getting very territorial finally in this game. Very important to wall off this one tank here, as I feel, you know, this will actually not have any effect on any battle to ramp whatsoever. But that's okay, because these Colossus are going to try to take out nothing whatsoever, as they are just kidding, running back to the ramp here and might actually see them try to exploit the high ground right here above the natural expansion. I guess the first natural expansion. Oh, there's like 3 expansions around these bases, man. This is crazy. Fortunately, this turret does not have line of sight for up here at the high ground, so these Colossi are just having their way with the SCVs, just dying horrible deaths, but this one lone Viking is coming in here to drive them off. Uh-oh, looks like Thorminator has just doubled his Viking count in the field with 2 Vikings, which is plenty enough to drive back this Colossus force. Cannot talk today whatsoever. Stalkers finally realizing that they do indeed have a job to do, come back and drive off the Vikings. Party did go ahead and looks like he did get an expansion down here, and I cannot click my mouse today. Wow, I am just not capable of basic functionality whatsoever. So this expansion is going to get underway apparently very slowly. Party continuing to take pot shots at the SCVs here while the Stalkers are having their way with the refinery, which no longer exists whatsoever. Down to only a few SCVs here. Let's take a look at the income. Definite disadvantage for Thorminator as he is sitting at close to 200 minerals income per minute, whereas Party is at a comfortable 900. I don't know, man. This game, it's starting to look like it's going to be going the way of the Party. So, and I didn't really mean that as a pun, but I guess it came out that way. But anyways, see a hidden command center floating over here. I hope they are not afraid of heights, because it is a long way down for this orbital command, as there is not much here left at this expansion. Definitely a last-ditch push by Thorminator to take this game, trying to push over into to Party's base. Did take out this expansion, does have the high ground, however, it is not going to be enough units to take out this Protoss force, as the Colossus are just ripping through these Marines and siege tanks like nobody's business. This one Stalker definitely giving a surprise spawn right beside this tank, moving out of range, but that's okay because there are just so many of them at this point that, the Party is just really established dominance right here, as, we might see a GG from here. Well, it looks like we're going to kind of see a reverse GG. TehParTE is saying GG first, so he probably knows that he does have map control, and that, Thorminator really doesn't have too much left that he can do, as he does not have any income whatsoever, even though he does have, still a whole bunch of buildings. SCVs going in here like the champs that they are, trying to take out these Stalkers. However, it is just not even fair, as this army of Colossi are just tearing through the barracks and everything around them. Oh, it's so sad. In this one tank who got walled off here with the depots that are now down has also died a horrible death. Really don't think there's much left that Thorminator can do in this game, although he can lift off and laugh at the Colossi. I kind of wish you could drop your buildings on a Colossus. That would actually be really funny, or bonk him as he drives them. Look at that, he just flies right through them. What is that? He should have taken his head off. Ugh, I don't know. Terran, Thorminator, you did not take advantage of your aerial advantage. Oh well, that's okay. It's a little bit late at this point, as this Ghost Academy is dying very quickly. Like I said, unfortunately, it was not very good to build one Ghost and then just let this thing sit. I mean, he could have at least snuck in a Ghost and, this base, one EMP right here, and, 1 or maybe 2 nukes, and that would have ruined the Party up here in the northwest. And at this point, it looks like Thorminator is just flying down to his new expansion, where he does have some mules here. And I'll tell you what, man, this is the power of the mule right here. Drop down 3 mules, and he's already, keeping up with the Party in income. So, Terrans are OP like that. Not really, but that's okay. So, landing the buildings here, hoping to make a surprise comeback. Might see some Tech Lab add-ons here. At this point in the game, we will have to just watch and look, as one tech add-on is going down right here. And maybe this was the proxy strategy that he was thinking of. I do not know at this point. But the Party knows where the Party is at, so he is going to come down here and wreck these buildings with these 4 Champ Stalkers, who are already sensing that Marauders were going to be coming out of these, very likely. And coming to put a stop to it right now, Colossus just tearing up the barracks, and I have to say this game is pretty much over, as he just blinked in and killed that 1 Champ Marine. he can still try to float off, but I think at this point, it's not really going to matter. As soon as this command center goes down, which it will very shortly. Well, he's got one over here, too. But, anyways, yeah, as soon as all the command centers go down, all the buildings that he floats off are going to appear for the party anyways. And the party will end very quickly in this map. And I have made that joke way too many times, but that's okay, because I still think it's funny. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this game here as we come to a close. Like I said, if you have any good 1v1s, send them to anaristarcraft@gmail.com. And I will take a look at them, might cast them, might not. Please don't be upset if I don't, because I do get a good number of them per day. But I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and still waiting for it to wrap up here. Thought, you know, he had one barracks left, probably couldn't do a whole lot. But apparently Thorminator has a plan that I do not know about, and that is to fly off the map. Oh, okay, so it's going to be a chaser. Okay, well, I don't think that's going to be on. I'll just assume that he tried to type Hawk, because Hawks are awesome. And anyways, this game is over, so I will see you guys later.